This heat tile looks loose. Whoops. I have to stop doing that.
Red light. This is not good. Apparently some or all of the intermix element in Fuel Tank 3 was disgorged during your heinous Venus joyride. That's not all that was disgorged, but we'll skip the details. A feather? When, rather, if you get the chance, you'll have to quiz Stellar about her dietary habits. A cluster of stomach acid shy nanites is lurking near the entrance to the duodenum. They know all the cool places to hang out. Loosely woven into the stomach lining is a piece of celery string. That stuff could be used to make steel-belted radial tires stronger. Rumor has it that it was the original inspiration for dental floss. I think I saw that on one of those James Burke shows. How odd. A bent staple. Thus far, it has resisted being dissolved by the stomach's acids, probably because of its location and Stellar's apparent lack of oral nourishment during her captivity. The acid probably hasn't risen high enough since this item found its way in here. What in the hell was she doing eating a staple anyway? Maybe it was some fad diet thing in the Galactic Inquirer. Dang, these look tasty. Boy, that micro-Prozac she inhaled slowed her systems down to a crawl. These things haven't been touched by stomach acid yet. As do most computer game characters who find themselves in sequels of sequels, you stop the action to reflect on your past exploits. You realize you spent a lot of time looking at the contents of your own stomach. But this is the first time you've gotten such a good look at a pool of someone else's potential discharge. The pools are deceptively still and shallow. They look harmless, but they're seething with pepsin and hydrochloric acid, a chemical brew of protein-dissolving, bacteria-destroying glop, strong enough to dissolve almost anything, especially organic life forms like yourself. You acquire a candy. Interesting. You acquire a candy. Interesting. You acquire... Interesting. The acid rises, but just not quite high enough to submerge those nanites. Nice shot. A large hunk of twinkoid cake food product is hanging just below her epiglottis. It appears to have gotten jammed on the way to her stomach for digestion. Doesn't this woman chew? It's one of those tiny timed release pills. As I recall, these are designed to not melt down and release their medicines until they've gotten to an area past the stomach. A large gallstone hangs above the entrance to the gallbladder. You cleverly tape the capillaries together. Careful. Nice work! You've hooked up your makeshift hose to the pump. You chuck one of the taped capillaries over the muscular ledge. It drops into the pool. You give the pump a stroke or two, and in the process, gather a nice helmet load of bile. I guess congratulations are in order. You maneuver your helmet beneath the drip and manage to snag a nice little dollop of the stuff. You now own one of those tiny timed release pills. Impressive. The tapeworm suddenly becomes much more animated. Please remember to keep your arms and legs on the worm at all times. Yow! Now that's a ride you won't take in the Magic Kingdom. That's your vermiform friend who, with a little help from organic and pharmaceutical resources, was kind enough to give you that ride along the approximately 6.5 meters or so of small intestine that lies between here and the duodenum. It's not very conversant. Few cestodes are. This one's a dwarf. Hopefully, life's path will not lead you to meet any other kind. It looks like an old silver amalgam filling. Must have been bouncing around here for years. You pull away a cracked piece of the filling. It's a fingernail, complete with paint. These have a knack for making it down here. Suddenly, you wonder when Stellar grew such long nails. Perhaps you haven't been thinking of Stellar as a woman as much as a crewmate. You feel an interesting longing. One look at your surroundings kills that feeling fast. But maybe after this is all over, You snap off a shard of fingernail and gingerly introduce it into your pocket. It's a fingernail. Suddenly, it's a relatively unscathed paperclip. You carefully, very carefully, stow the paperclip in your pocket. Talk about hard currency, the Buckazoid has proven itself once again. This is even one of the old-style ones. Might be worth some money. Too bad you can't carry it. How does she get this stuff into her digestive system? That's a screw Stellar probably doesn't remember. This seems to be a sludge of rather heavy and not-so-digestible items. Sludge reminds you of your old nemesis. Well, you finished him off, but he still causes you to change your clothing more than the average person. This is the appendix. It's a strange piece of the humanoid anatomy considered by some medical types to be fairly useless. It may not be useful, but it does seem to collect some strange stuff.
No, I think I've already done things above and beyond the call of duty. Hey, a guy has to draw the line somewhere, and gosh darn it, this guy's drawn the line right at the colon.
You've never even met her mother.
Yeah.
So you like the worm, huh? You like to ride the worm, huh? I let you ride the worm. You neatly replace the EVA suit in its proper place. That's an interesting idea. Not a good one, You slice away with the nail and, amazingly enough, manage to cut a slice in the barrier.
Yikes. How am I supposed to jump across this one? Man, that was close.
You chuck a gallstone at one of the robots, causing it to think the other one did it. You chuck another gallstone, this time at the other robot, who also thinks the other one did it. That was quite effective. That was very impressive, Roger. I'll bet that's not something you hear every decade. It's an elevator built by the nanites to help gain access to the interior of the brain. Yuck! Nice mood lighting. It's a recently constructed shaft between the hemispheres of Stellar's brain. This button takes you down.
So this is the motor control center. This sign says this is her pleasure center. I'd better never, ever touch that while I'm in here. This sign says this is her pleasure center.
This button...
This sign says this is... Interesting. The sign says this is Stellar's Cough Control Center.
Boy, wouldn't it be cool? Boy, it would appear as cool as... Boy...
Oh, this is her Choice of Men Center. It looks a little odd.
Excellent guess, Kreskin. As cool as it would be... It's a recently constructed shaft between... It's a recently...
Interesting. The sign says this...
A huge pile of debris is standing in front of what appears to be some sort of passage. Light pours through the opening.
Ugh! Ah! Even in this suit, that hurts like a... Geez, what's going on here? And what's with that big robot?
Well, well, Mr. Wilco. I must confess to being impressed that you made it this far. You are either a very lucky man, or the classic case of how looks can be deceiving. From what I know of your history, I can't say that in this case looks are necessarily deceiving. On the other hand, I don't think luck accounts for it all either. There's definitely something different about you, Mr. Wilco. It's a pity, though. I'm afraid this is where the odds catch up with you, Roger. I do hope you don't mind me referring to you as Roger. I feel we can both be on a first-name basis now, since we will soon be sharing such intimate moments. My rebirth and your death. Not necessarily in that order. I'll attend to you in a moment. I have a few more little details to finish before I transfer my consciousness into this body. Enjoy it, Roger. It'll be among the very last of your memories. Oh, and by the way, escape attempts will prove to be futile. You will be incinerated if necessary.
Jeez, what a bit...
I'm sorry. What was that you were saying?
Me? I was saying, what a bite. Yeah, I had a little trouble with some parasites a while ago down in the digestive tract. That's all it was.
That was actually a great idea. Go figure.
Yeah, I kicked her butt. Just look at me. MacGyver wishes he could be me. It was bound to happen. The never-ending battle between good and evil was once again waged. And once again, good has emerged victorious. Yes, and with me on its side, how could it lose? Yes. Once again, I have struck a blow for good over evil. It was in a... Hey! Ah! What? But I thought I took care of you.
Well, It appears you thought wrong now, doesn't it, Roger? Wilco, I haven't survived this long without taking precautions. The robot was just hardware. My mind still exists.
Oh, real wonderful. Ooh! Ah! Hey, watch those tentacles, lady. I thought that being partially embedded in the street on polysorbate was a strange feeling.
It looks vaguely like your hiney after it's been chewed out by your boss.
Fish, that's brain food.
All right. She actually chowed down on that rancid fish. I thought I'd never get rid of that fish.
Nice shot!
Oh, there you are, Wilco.
Boy, Stellar, with all that's happened recently, I never would have imagined that we'd be standing here together.
It is a miracle, Roger. I was afraid that by the time you got my message, it would be too late. I was certain I was doomed. But you didn't let me down. What you did was incredibly brave, Roger, not to mention intensely risky. It took Dr. Bellows a lot of work to clean up after you and Sharpay. I must say, Roger, there's not a man in the universe who knows me inside the way you do.
It was a strange feeling, but I went in there all business. There wasn't a moment I wasn't thinking of your welfare.
Oh, give me a break. Let me put my boots on. It's getting deep in here.
Cheese it, pal, or I'll rip out your larynx and you won't be able to get a job doing bad voiceover work for Chinese action pictures.
What did you say, Roger?
I was just mumbling to myself. You know, Stellar, there's one thing I noticed while inside you I thought I might share.
And what's that, Roger?
You eat like a goat. You really have to change your eating habits, Stellar. I saw some things in your digestive tract I wouldn't wish on Sludge Vohall. You really have to clean up your consumption act.
Yes, I know. Dr. Bellows said he was able to fix most everything done to me during Sharpay's invasion, as well as patching an ulcer that was playing havoc with my stomach. He told me the same things.
You might also try chewing. You had a hunk of Twinkleoid wedged in your throat that would have gagged Linda Lovelace.
Okay, Roger, okay, I got the message. Let's change the subject, shall we? Ask me where I'm stationed next.
Why don't you just tell me?
Boy, some fun you are.
Sorry, I guess I'm a little grumpy. I had a real day. I had to clean the captain's log entry container. Then somebody got a nice buzz in 8 rear and decided to take a wormhole ride in the Hollows suite. They hit a few wrong buttons, and the next thing I know, I'm cleaning Virgon nebula sets and hors d'oeuvres off every wall and ceiling. Apparently, they truly did make the room spin. Boy, they spackled everything. Had to use the putty knife to chip loose some of the chunks of...
Roger, I'm sorry you had a rough day, but can we please change the subject?
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, I think you're gonna like your next assignment.
Really? What is it? Where is it?
Sorry, you're just gonna have to wait to find out.
As Roger and Stellar warp off into the nebula set, many questions remain. Will Roger and Stellar become an item? How will Beatrice Wankmeister react when she hears about this new friend in Roger's life? Will Roger's voice be a few octaves higher as a result? Would they dare to make another one of these things? Only time and money will tell.
I've been up to my lips in urinal pucks lately. I hope it's something different. Who wrote this crap? Oh, yeah, Scott. Yeah, well, yeah, then good work. Did you hear about the animator who killed himself? Yeah, he couldn't draw his own breath. These, by the way, are the credits. They're called credits because, well, we can't afford to really pay anybody until more people buy the game. All these people worked on this dumb game? Thank you, bye-bye. 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 That's it, bye-bye. No more, bye-bye. That's it, all finished, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.